Ladies, gamers, and gentlemen, welcome to BelleNOiRtv. My name is BelleNOiR, and you are watching Cast My Game Community Casts, episode 29. How are we all doing? So, you kind of can notice straight from the start that I have shaved my cheeks. Finally, yay for me! Ah! And I have a beautifully cultivated and groomed esports beard, a proper esports caster beard that not a lot of people have. I have one of the best ones out there. Beware, Nathanius. I'm on to you, dude. Gonna get you one day. And, well, of course, if you don't know what this show is about, we always cast 3 replays submitted by players. Those have to be at least Masters versus Masters. 1v1s between 10 to 30 minute game time of length, and then we just randomly select a couple of these replays, and I optionally, sometimes with a guest, we cast those. This is a 29th episode. We have one more episode to go to number 30. And we will hit number 30, just like I did 3 days ago. Hooray for me! I am now officially old. I am now officially old, ladies and gamers. And I have to find some way to cope with it. So, thank you for tuning in today. It is Tuesday, of course. And let me just see what kind of replays we have lined up for you here. Episode 29. So, let us see. We have a PvT, a PvT, and a PvP. So why don't we begin with a PvT? Which one? Well, I'm gonna choose that by myself. It's going to be Mattzour versus Funk on Neo Planet S. In other news, I finally got my Philco. Hell yeah, I finally got my Philco, and its life suddenly is very beautiful. Let me tell you that. Jumping into the game, we see that Funk the Red Protoss is spawning in the top right on Neo Planet S. Let me see if I can do this actually. Yeah, this is the right key combination. And his opponent Mattzour, the blue Terran from We Wannowing Clan, spawning in the bottom position on the left side, going to order his SCV to build a supply depot right here. All them tosses. You are correct, Daveathor. All them tosses. So, Mattzour gonna be just building a supply depot for the time being on the Protoss side of things, because just let me say straight up, I kind of expect Mattzour to build a gas straight after the barracks at 12. If he doesn't, then he'll be building that on 13 or 14, and if he doesn't, then I'm going to eat my head. There we go, a gas going down on 12. Skipping one SCV for a millisecond there. Now, on the Protoss side of things, I'm going to be looking for a double gas or a single gas opening. And it looks like it's going to be a single gas for the time being. This map, though, is very good for blink plays. You can kind of abuse this area. And since it is a fairly short map, 2 base timings are also a possibility. DT openings, always a good choice. And of course, the good old-fashioned proxy Stargate with the Oracle right here. This is not what the probe is going to be doing so far, at least. And we have the first Reaper on the way. This is a very safe opening by Mattzour, because with that Reaper, you can scout everything the Protoss is doing. And that's a good way to open. I mean, consider Funk getting a ridiculously fast Twilight Council, for example. What would happen with this opening for the Terran player? Well, he would know about it because the Reaper would scout it. Consider him building a Stargate. Well, the Reaper would scout it for the Terran player, and Mattzour would know about it. So, you know, opening up with a Reaper kind of means that the Protoss cannot hide any tech. Speaking of Twilight Councils, looks like this is either going to be a DT opening or a one-base blink play. I'm kind of leaning towards the DT opening just because of how ridiculously fast the Twilight Council was, even before the first Stalker or a Mothership Core, which kind of means that, well, Funk is going to be losing probes. This Reaper is working on them as we speak. He's trying to micro, but still losing 3 to the Reaper, and the Reaper does get very safely away. The Twilight Council finishes up, and ooh, it is going to be Blink. So Blink is being chrono boosted right now. Mattzour trying to get an expansion up. This is a reactor expand. Probably at this point in game, it will be followed up by 2 additional barracks. This is kind of interesting. Getting a fairly early engineering bay as a reaction to the Twilight Council is fairly common. What is not so common is getting a +1 straight away out of it. But Mattzour is doing it anyways, and here we have the second Rax. I wouldn't actually mind him building a third Rax as well. He is going to need Marauders, and I think... No, he has not confirmed if the Twilight Council is researching. He will have to do that now. It's going to be a little bit more difficult with 2 Stalkers guarding the perimeter and the Mothership Core floating overhead. But just by seeing that there is not an expansion in place so far... Oh, he should know. And he did see the chrono boost. He did see the chrono boost on the Twilight Council. He sees the Twilight Council working. He should know exactly what is up. And this probe is building proxy pylons all over the place. Look at this, not even floating his natural expansion down. Cancelling the supply depot on the low ground, the bunker as well. Very nice reaction from Mattzour. He's going to be needing Widow Mines with this, because he's only on 2 racks. He can of course try to go tanks, but it would take quite some time. It would not be 1.5 minutes from now when the first tank would be popping out. I wonder what that sentry is for, to be quite honest. Those sentries will not be as helpful. Maybe he kind of expected the bunkers to be here, but oh, if he gets this SCV, I doubt he will. If he blinks up, he's going to get right in the middle of those Marines, and it is going to be a tank, but as I said, still 40 seconds on the clock. Mattzour is going to have to lift this off very probably and relocate that to somewhere else. Nice idea building the supply depots sort of like a semi-wall-in around the bunker. And here it comes. The Marines narrowly evading the force field bunker, still standing strong though. But right now the Stalkers can just bypass that, go behind the mineral line, get as many SCV kills as possible, and then just blink away. Mothership Core overhead still will be very, very helpful. Nice positioning on the siege tank, protecting the entire mineral line, but that also means that Mattzour pretty much cannot mine at this point. Let's see how he's going to cope with this attack further. Baiting out the time warp, very nice also to do. And right now he will probably have to pull everything he's got, including the Marines and the SCVs, and, well, he's almost trying to go for it. No. Okay. Saying, you know what, let me just mine for a little bit. And with 2 tanks out, this is going to be very difficult for Funk to pull off, but he gets cornered. He's not utilizing his blink properly. How many SCVs have gone down so far? 13 SCVs down and counting. But this attack, I mean, it could work. There's just not that many warp-ins occurring here for Funk. Another SCV pull. He knows that he's got Funk cornered, that he has no way of getting out of there. He's being cornered by SCVs and Marauders, and on the other side, up here, by siege tank fire. And this is a perfect defense by Mattzour as far as defense from Blink goes. I mean, yes, he has sustained quite a lot of losses, 29 versus 10, but if Funk continues this attack, pretty much Matt is going to be okay with 3 tanks. There's not a whole lot that Funk can do at this point, and Mattzour does have mules, which means his income is even larger than the Protoss. The Protoss, on the other hand, is going to need Immortals. He is going to need a lot of Zealots to break those siege lines. And, you know, this is a good decision by Funk. He's getting ahead. He's getting the expansion. Stim has not been cancelled, though. This is a big mistake. Big mistake by Funk. He should have targeted that down as soon as he saw that working. Because when that stim finishes, things are going to become a lot tougher for him. He might even lose this mothership core. Oh, the mothership core does go down, nullifying the high ground vision. Funk even joking, saying, "I'm so good." And it looks like Mattzour is preparing himself for a 1-base all-in. It looks to me. He does have a lot of tanks. He's got 4 tanks, a lot of Marines. Stim will finish. And he can go for this, quite honestly. 4 barracks, churning out Marines. 4 at a time, and Marauders. He's getting concussive shells, so he can slow down those Stalkers and kite Zealots more efficiently. Let us see if Funk is getting, or has been getting Immortals. No, the Observer is the first thing that has been produced by the robotic facility. And now Funk is going to know. He is going to know. I mean, he sees the SCVs, so he should know this is a 1-base play. Matt needs to get rid of all of these proxy pylons. Gets rid of 1, but I think will bypass the other. Yep. This could bite him in the ass later on. Funk needs to not be over-eager at this point, not send the Zealot straight away. Oh my god, he is. I don't know if a better course of action would have been just to warp in a couple of Zealots, then another couple, and just wait. Because, as it is, this Zealot, as we can see, got nothing done. The problem is the lack of Immortals, the lack of buffer for the only 3 Stalkers that are here, but nice force fields by Funk, isolating quite a bit of those SCVs and Marines. He is going to need more, though. And Mattzour, microing like a god, preventing those units to be killed off by the Protoss forces. And now is the time where it becomes increasingly difficult for Funk to hold on, because 4 tanks sieged up at his doorstep. Marines with Stim. Marauders with concussive shells. This is not looking good. Even trying to kill an Observer that is not present there. And no more energy for a photon overcharge. I think Matt is just waiting for that one to wear off, and it did. Even better position for the sieged up tanks. Once he has vision of the high ground, he can kill every single unit coming down the ramp. 3 Immortals should be enough to one-shot the tanks. But will he get close enough? Will he be able to get close enough? 3 Zealots are making their way over here, and will try to slow the Terran economy down. Wow, this is a really wonky game. The main base of Mattzour almost mined out at this point, and these Zealots are not helping. I think he has to go for it now, and he does. Tanks siege up. Stim is initiated. And unfortunately, the Immortals cannot get close enough to the tanks, which are shelling the remains of the Gateway Army, and now Funk is in a lot of trouble. He will most likely lose this expansion. We'll have to pull up the ramp, but with these tanks having vision over there, if he tries a move like that, he's gonna get shelled upon. As we can see by the example these probes are providing us, and this is a methodical but slow death Mattzour is exacting upon his opponent. 52 SCVs have gone down. I don't think Mattzour has any left. No, it's 0, so it's make or break at this point. Has to be really careful with the stims. He doesn't have a single medevac out. And the Funk can still produce units. He does have Archons available to him. But he's kind of out of minerals. Will he try to go for it? His army gets baited forward. He does get 1 tank, but that's all he is going to get. These Marines not even having to stim. There are so many of them. And right now, I think Funk is dead. Mattzour could have just A-moved for the win if he wanted to. Again, a nice move, baiting those units into the line of fire of the siege tanks. He's going to be leapfrogging them forward 2 by 2, covered by the Marines. And wow, what a comeback. Even cleaning up the zealots in his main base. He does have 2 orbital commands, which means mules. So despite not having any SCVs, he still is able to mine minerals and rebuild his economy. Whereas Funk, he doesn't have the army equipped to deal with this. Even as few of the Marines as we are seeing here is enough. Not the best force fields I have seen in my life, but helping a little bit. Funk is doing what he can, but he has to rebuild nearly half of his infrastructure in the north corner of his base. Only 1 stim left in these Marines. But I don't think they will elect to stim. I think they will say, you know what, I value my health, I'm not going to be doing drugs, and I'm going to start paying my health insurance on time. And frankly, I don't think this is a situation that Funk can come behind from. Oh, Immortal! Immortal, what are you doing, Immortal? Despite the supply differences being heavily in favor of Funk, that's only in workers, and like I said, he doesn't have the army to deal with this Dark Shrine, because that's going to save you with 2 orbitals. It might, but it will take 40 more seconds until it completes. Oh, this is a... Oh my god, look at the reinforcements. It's kind of... Oh, the main base is mined out. There are no minerals left. He's got enough resources for 1 Dark Templar. What are you doing? You could have waited! What are you doing? What are you doing? You could have... The Dark Shrine is completed. You could have... Oh my goodness, why would you do something like that? And it's not going to be enough. The Immortals are still alive though, so the tanks might get cleaned up, but there's no mining for Funk, and he's out of resources. Oh, why would you build an Archon? Why would you build an Archon out of those? Tell me. Why not just have a DT in your army? Oh my goodness. 2 probes still mining gas. Still maybe wants to build 1 High Templar for a feedback. Because there is... He can't mine any minerals. He would be at 5 minerals a minute income with those 2 probes mining, distance mining from the natural base. Okay. 1 tank. Oh my goodness, beautiful force fields. This is the move that Funk needed. But Mattzour still able to produce, still able to increase his army size, which is 16 versus 14. He's got this tank that can get focused down by the Immortals as well as the Monkers can. Can Funk do it? This is all coming down to micro. The tank is going to go down. No amount of SCVs will repair that, but the Archon can't get at the Marines. Mattzour needs time. Mattzour definitely needs time. There we go, stimming forward, pulling everything, trying to focus down the Archon. Is he going to get him? The Immortal falls. The second one will fall as well, quickly before the stim runs out, and only 1 Archon remaining with 10 hit points and 50 shields. That's all that stands between victory and defeat here on Neo Planet S. I think this is going to be it. There we go. And Mattzour not stopping there. He's going forward. He's going forward. He's going to take this like a man. Okay, so he is distance mining with those 2 probes. That game indeed. GGs are called. Wow. Wow. Just wow. That was such a good game. Such a good game. Let's go into game number 2. Let's see how that will pan out. So once again, this is BelleNOiRtv. My name is BelleNOir, and this is Cast My Game Community Cast, where we cast your replays. If you want to submit one, all you have to do is send it to my email address that's been made for this purpose, BelleNOir@cesnam.cz, with the title Cast My Game. That one is important because if you don't title the email correctly, it will end up in a spam box. Just like that. Sorry. And yeah, just include a short description of what happened in the game, indicate which of the players is you, so we know who we are casting, and what else? I think that's all you have to do. Oh yeah, if you want us to do any shoutouts, if you have a stream running, or if you have a website, if your team has a website, anything, just include those as well. We'll shout you out, don't worry. So, going into game number 2, this is going to be a PvP, Daveathor versus Esmirna on Newkirk Precinct. Thank you for the follow, Pewee. Appreciate it. You're my man. So, jumping into this game, in the bottom, well, there's only one position here. That's the bottom position. But on the left side, we have in red colors the Protoss player Esmirna, and his opponent is going to be none other than the great Daveathor, spawning on the right, aka the Kappa Thor, because he's using the Kappa emote way too much here on Twitch chats, and he likes to troll us as well. Now I have to say that I am not a big fan of this map as far as playing it goes. I have no problem casting this one, but as far as playing the map, I'm not a big fan. Usually, especially in non-mirror matchups, it kind of results in a split map scenario, specifically in TVZs and PVZs, sometimes in PVTs as well. So both players going for a 13 gate here. Now I have to say that Stargate play can be good on this map. It can be really good, just because the map is relatively big. The mains are big as well, so you have a lot of space you can maneuver around. And Blink is also good on this map. Actually, it's very good on this map, because you can blink into the main from here, and you can harass the ramp from here with Blink Stalkers, which is nice. What is interesting here to me is that Daveathor is actually opening up with a single gas. Esmirna is getting a very quick second gas before even getting the Cyber Core, which puts Daveathor a little bit ahead in that regard by about 10 seconds. 8 to 10 seconds, I would say. And now he's going to get the second gas. Let us see if he will be making a Zealot here, or just adding a second gate. Most probably adding a second gate, or maybe not. Interesting. Saving every ounce of minerals and gas he can. Wonder what tech choice he will choose to go down. 4 probes mining on gas for Esmirna, and Daveathor mining with 6 probes, because he did get that gas a little bit later. So skipping the Zod entirely and just getting the Stalker straight away, and I don't think he scouted either. Oh, he did. Okay, here's the scouting probe. I was looking for that. So maybe this is why he didn't get the Zealot, because he did see that, you know, his opponent was not making one of his own. So getting a Stalker and a Twilight Council now. The Twilight Council is going to unfortunately be scouted by Esmirna, because the Stalker was kind of lagging behind the probe, was not microed very well, and did not manage to catch it in time. So let us see what Daveathor's plans are here. Will he be going for Blink? Will he be going for DTs? By the looks of it, most probably he's going to be going for DTs. He already has a second Stalker queued up. And there we have it. A Blink going down. And a second and third gateway as well. Nice little wall off here between the minerals and the wall. I like that. And his opponent is getting a robo facility straight up. And would be wise to... Well, I mean, it will depend on what he sees. If he sees two Stalkers, immediately getting an Immortal out is a priority. If he sees only one Stalker, nothing else, could be DTs. Because when you're going DTs, you're probably going to want at least one sentry to keep you safe back home in case your opponent attacks you in force. And that would eat into your gas, so you don't want to be having two Stalkers. Nice force field on the ramp there, but the Blink is getting more and closer to being done. 1 minute remaining on that baby. Proxy pylon finished for Daveathor. Gateways are opened. And a Warp Prism! A Warp Prism! Okay, now this is a really interesting choice. Now I think Daveathor doesn't... Oh my god. Esmirna misses the force field. That's not good. The Blink is almost done. Daveathor is sniping down every single sentry he can get his phasers on. Finally saving two sentries, but neither of them has an energy for a force field, and this is not boding well for Daveathor. I mean, for Esmirna. Esmirna does have that Warp Prism. He can try and go inside Daveathor's base and warp in units there, but what does he have back home to defend? Even loading up one sentry. What? You don't want to be loading up a sentry in this situation. Are you crazy? Oh my god, the Mothership Core will not get focus fired down. Daveathor being really careful here. Not wanting to overextend. This is going to come down to micro. Both players on one base. The Stalker counts here on the front lines are relatively equal. The Warp Prism, though, is coming into the main mineral line. The sentry does have energy for one force field, but doesn't use it. And Daveathor, he is distracted at this point in time. He does have the expansion up, but needs to defend. More Warpins could come in at any time, and without the high ground vision of the Mothership Core, Daveathor... I mean, if Esmirna would force field properly here, there's no chance Daveathor would ever get up that ramp, but as it is, Esmirna is just leaving the door open. The Mothership Core does finally go down, and instead of warping into the opponent's base, he is forced to warp back home. Stalker counts are in favor of Esmirna. Daveathor needs to blink out of there yet again. And these Stalkers are all damaged, and it doesn't look like they'll be healed up anytime soon. Daveathor even cleaning up the harassment in his main base, and he can now focus totally and solely on the attack, on the offensive. What's really interesting to me here is that Daveathor did not ever bother getting a Mothership Core. He's just focusing on Blink Micro, trying to focus down that robotic facility before that Immortal comes out. Will he be in time? I mean, he has killed the whole entire Zealot line of Esmirna, but his Stalkers are so damaged that he cannot push on forward. And now, with this Immortal, I don't think that Daveathor will be able to do this. Sure, he might try to go in and snipe the Immortal, but I mean, he would lose so many Stalkers. Oh my god, he's not... That's a bad position for Esmirna. You don't want to be fighting on even ground. You always want to have that high ground vision, especially if you see that your opponent does not have a Mothership Core or an Observer. Second Immortal on the way for Esmirna, and an expansion as well. This game is evening up. With that second Immortal, he's going to be quite fine. And then can get a counter blink of his own. And then he can just go on and attack, because, quite frankly, Daveathor is behind. His economy took a couple of hits. If we look at the harvester counts, we can actually see that Esmirna is not that far behind Daveathor in terms of worker counts, and does have a superior army for the time being. Sentry putting it... Oh, nice. Forceful down on the ramp, but is Daveathor losing too much for this? I think he was trying to go for a big shove, and he's still trying to go for a big shove. Is this going to be effective, though? Two Immortals in the back, protected by Stalkers. Even the Zealots cannot get at them. Will the Blink Micro of Daveathor be strong enough and good enough to win him this battle? He could do it, but more Zealots coming from above, forcing Daveathor to kite back for a little bit and a retreat for the time being. The expansion does finish, which is the crucial thing here for Esmirna, and Esmirna getting a Dark Shrine and charge. I think Esmirna wants to be pushing out in force and breaking the contain relatively quickly here. With those DTs, it might even be successful because Daveathor doesn't have any means of detecting anything. And oh my god, he's taking out all of the Zealots, he's taking out the Stalkers, he's taking down the Immortals! One huge strike for Daveathor and he might be able to win this game. Now with the charge loss, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, but Daveathor can still blink away as soon as he sees that charge activate. Another Immortal coming off the production line, but that is definitely snipeable. Look how careful Esmirna is pulling that Immortal back straight away, not wanting those Stalkers get anywhere near it. +1 armor is going to finish for him as well to help out in those battles. He knows he has the smaller army here a little bit. And this is what I've been waiting for. DTs being warped in. Daveathor, where is your goddamn detection? Where is your detection, Daveathor? You have not a single observer anywhere. Oh my god, the DTs are going inside. He's going to go for the robo. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, the observer will not be out in time. Daveathor will be left without any detection. He doesn't have a forge neither. Oh my goodness. This might just turn into a base race. Will there be enough Zealots to hold these Stalkers at bay? I rather doubt it. Here comes the aggressive blink in to snipe the Immortal, or not. Well, there we go, finally. Thank you, Daveathor. Meanwhile, the main base is getting taken out by one singular DT, and more of them somewhere else around here. Ah, yeah, that's the second one. Where's this? Just two? Not three? Okay, just two DTs. And it's becoming a base race right now. Now, Esmirna, he does have enough resources to build another Nexus somewhere if he wants to, even canceling a couple of things. Oh my! Oh, Daveathor, Daveathor! Is this going to be a probe-on-probe action? Just a lone Zealot for the time being, working at those probes. Meanwhile, the main base is being taken down. The Dark Shrine falls. All of the gateways are depowered, but these three defensive DTs might be able to kill all of these Stalkers. Daveathor is losing buildings fast. He needs to build more buildings somewhere. He only has 260 minerals. His opponent is at 818. Harvester count 17 to 25. What are you doing, Daveathor? Oh, he does have a robo facility here, and he manages to crank out an observer. His last bits of gas being used for an observer. The problem is, can he do it? Can he do it? The gateways will be repowered shortly for Esmirna, and he will have his production back online. Oh my god, Daveathor, what the hell are you doing? There goes the observer. The DTs are getting surrounded by the probes, which is a really funny sight to see. And Daveathor is going to start killing buildings, and he needs to be fast about it. He needs to be fast before all these buildings fall. He needs to kill the rest of them. Again, a DT trying to kill those Stalkers off, but with that observer overhead, not going to work. Where's the observer of Esmirna? Oh, it's here. Oh my goodness. He can actually afford to warp in 3 Stalkers and snipe the Dobbs. Esmirna, what the hell? What are you doing? Oh, he's just queuing up buildings with DTs, I guess. And now he can't warp in anything. Esmirna, you stupid, stupid, stupid Protoss. Could have gone for an observer snipe here. And after that, it would have been GG. He could have just run He could have just ran in circles out on the map. And, I mean... This is so funny. Alright, so I'm going to speed this up a little bit. So... This is all the army Esmirna has. The Nexi are falling. 2 have fallen. A third is being rebuilt here, so Daveathor will not reveal his opponent so far. But Esmirna, of course, knows where the last buildings of Daveathor are. And he's going to be killing them off. He doesn't know how many observers he's got. He knows he's got 1. Okay, Daveathor going to... Ooh, cancel on the Nexus. As another one is... Where is the other one? Oh my god, he cancelled! He doesn't have it! Oh my goodness, he doesn't have enough resources for another Nexus. You gotta be kidding me. I mean, those 3 DTs are not gonna do anything unless they kill off this robo facility. Daveathor needs to build a building right now. He sees that his robo is under attack. He needs to build a building. Daveathor, do it. Daveathor. Daveathor. Daveathor, goddammit! Oh, Daveathor! Oh my god. Okay. There goes the pylon. And he can actually protect this pylon. He actually can. Because he's got an observer. And his opponent, although he does have an observer, he's got nothing that shoots up. You see, Esmirna? You should have warped in those 3 stalkers. You should have done that. Oh, he has a sentry that shoots up, but that's going to take a long time to kill an observer. It is slow, and it might be killed by the stalkers. I don't know what the purpose of this force field is, by the way, because, I mean, as we all know, and Esmirna knows it as well, Daveathor has blink. Duh! But, yeah. What are you going to do, Esmirna? You have pylons and probes stationed across the map, even a DT with 28 fucking kills here. The sentry goes down, that's the last bit of anti-air for Esmirna, and now... I think there is nothing standing in the way of Daveathor's victory, to be quite honest. As long as he doesn't let this pylon die, he should be quite fine. He can actually surround the pylon with probes, put them on hold position, and just take the stalkers and go start taking out these pylons. This pylon, to be exact, because there are no other buildings. Just one pylon on both sides. Yes, that's true. Esmirna, he can build 2 additional pylons and an assimilator. Alright, speeding things up. Oh yeah, Daveathor being the smart man, taking the blink stalkers out. Blinking around, blinking around. There's the observer, sees that there's nothing. Daveathor being so smart, doing exactly what I thought he would do, just hold positioning the probe so that the DTs cannot kill the pylon as quickly. And will he actually... Wow. Okay, regenerate shields. Save the pylon. No! Save the pylon, goddammit! Wait. Daveathor. Oh, Daveathor. Jesus. Okay, he only needs to kill... Where's the last pylon? He needs to kill this pylon now. And this is his last chance. Because if this pylon gets killed now, and he doesn't have any more probes to protect it with, if this pylon gets killed... Oh, the DTs, he can actually kill the DTs. Daveathor, get your observer. Daveathor doesn't see the DTs. He could have killed those and he would have been victorious. And remember, there is still 188 resources for Esmirna. So I think this is going to be a draw. I mean, he sees this pylon, and Daveathor knows that there is one pylon over here, but he can't leave his own pylon because it would immediately get killed by the DTs that are roaming around here. He's trying to do it with one Stalker. The shields are going to regenerate, though. Okay, smart move. Leaving one DT here to defend the pylon. Daveathor is going to be taking round trips around the map, trying to eat at the pylon one shot at a time. Oh, I don't think Daveathor is going to... This is going to be a draw. This has to be a draw. Okay, the observer just got taken out, which doesn't change the fact that this is probably going to be a draw. Esmirna is just waiting for Daveathor to leave this area here, so that he could go from the top and from the bottom and kill this pylon in a couple of attacks. And apparently Esmirna very surprised that Daveathor is Masters. How long is this game? Okay, shouldn't be too long now. 34 minutes. Nothing's happening at all. Just chatting. And Esmirna is actually right. He didn't see a DT. He didn't see a robo in his base, so he went DTs. It's obvious. Duh. And I think draw should not be too far away, unless one of these guys does something really stupid. And keep in mind, Esmirna could still build an assimilator, and there we have it. There we have it. A draw, ladies and gentlemen. A fucking draw. I got a drink. Alright, so, anyone remembers Home Story Cup 4? I think it was JYP versus MC on Metalopolis. If you don't remember that game, I mean those series, Google it, find the VODs, watch it. Seriously, you are going to laugh so hard. I don't think JYP was in EG at that time, actually. It was before he got drafted by them. So, JYP versus OGS MC, Home Story Cup 4, Metalopolis. I think it was actually quarterfinals, and you know what? I'm not gonna tell you the result of those series, but seriously, find the final deciding game of those series. It was on Metalopolis. It was a PvP. Find it. Find it. Watch it in its entirety. You're going to be laughing so hard. But we are not going to be laughing. We are going to be going into game number 3. That's going to be JackO versus HeroMarine. Yeah. This is taken from a tournament, I think. Maybe WCS even. Or EPS. I don't know which one. It's going to be played on Star Station. Just saying, after we finish the broadcast today, I'm gonna be streaming some StarCraft play. Because I wanna get used to my new mouse. Not mouse, scratch that. My new keyboard. That's it. Going into the game. Star Station, forced cross spawns, I think. Spawning in the bottom left we have from Team Mouse Sports, it is HeroMarine. And his opponent from Team CPLAY, it is JackO. Protoss player in green, that's the grubby color. I think there's actually too many things in StarCraft 2 being named after grubby. I mean seriously, we need to have more things called by some other players, like I don't know. We have the fantasy GG timing, right? For example, but we have the grubby color, which is the green color for Protoss. We have the grubby line, which is the skill level you need to be able to beat Koreans. And grubby is right at that line, so that's why it's called the grubby line. I don't know if you knew that, but it's a fact. Google it. Or search Team Liquid for it. And we need something like... Oh, I got it. You remember that Day 9 Daily that was called The Stupid Stefano ZVP Style? Yeah. So I would opt to call that the Stefano build because it's so boring and stupid and just frustrating to play against. I would just call it the Stefano build. So let's see. Double gas already down for JackO. Now this could still be kind of a fastish expansion, still could be, but also gives JackO the option to tech relatively quickly if he decides to not go for the expand. Why? Because those both assimilators are already up. He doesn't have to wait for one to finish construction. And is he going to cancel the Zealot? Oh, he's not. Okay, I take that back. This is most probably not an expansion build. And he's getting the Mothership Core and the Stalker, which means he wants to deny scouting as fast as possible. Meanwhile, HeroMarine following up by adding a reactor to the barracks and a expansion CC. And let's see. Going to be a factory. Now, I am curious to see if we'll have Hellions or Widow Mines being produced out of there. So, in other words, I want to know if HeroMarine will be playing this aggressively or defensively. And you know, the fact that he hasn't seen a Nexus going down yet kind of indicates that he'll want to be playing defensively. But interesting to me is that there is no tech going down for JackO, so maybe he still wants to be expanding. He's kind of confusing me with this. He does have that Zealot and 2 Stalkers on the way towards his opponent's main base, together with the Mothership Core. The Reaper is the only unit, apart from these 4 Marines, that HeroMarine has, and he should be able to defend this. I mean, the Warp Gate is ages from finishing. Oh, and there we go. An expansion Nexus going down. So it is JackO who's going to be playing this aggressively. And look at this. As a result, he's actually directly preventing a Hellion attack on his base. He's forcing HeroMarine to build Widow Mines. Maybe he wanted to build them, maybe he didn't. Maybe that was his plan all along. But if it wasn't, he would be forced to by now. Oh, nice time warp going down. JackO needs to micro perfectly now, and he will be able to take out so many Marines. Look at this. How many Marines has he killed? 4 or 5? That's a decent number of Marines to kill. And he's microing so well, always keeping the Mothership Core out of the reach of the Widow Mines. And now, Oh my god, he's doing such great work, delaying the expansion by so much. The Widowmine's getting absolutely 0 kills done, and as long as these Stalkers are here, as long as they don't come into the range of the Widowmine, they're always going to be able to pick on Marines. And, I mean, HeroMarine, he wanted to go for a Widowmine drop, but he can't. He needs this medevac to keep those Marines alive. And now, finally, he is going to take out these Stalkers, most likely. But not before he... Oh, is he? HeroMarine, come on, focus fire. Do it. Okay, finally the Stalker is going to be taken out. Yeah! There we go. But the Widowmine drop was delayed by so much here, by what JackO did, that he was actually able to get out the Robo facility, a forge, and he's just going to be completely fine. Building pylons and cannons around his mineral lines. The harvester counts are equal, but this attack did so much damage in terms of delaying the Terran, in terms of delaying the tech, delaying the stim, delaying the harassment, delaying everything. With just 3 Stalkers, 1 Zod, and a Mothership Core. Beautiful work there. I mean, it is true, if we look at the resources lost, it's relatively even with JackO being slightly behind, but still, this was so worth it. Here we have the drop in the main base. Photon cannon and photon overcharge will take care of that though and chase the medevac away. And with the second cannon, I don't think JackO will have to worry about protecting his mineral lines, at least for the next couple of minutes. First Colossus being queued up will be coming out of the production lines, and thanks to this observer placement, I don't think this is going to work. Yep, JackO sees that. Is he going to be moving his units? Yeah, he is, and HeroMarine has to be a little bit frustrated here right now, not being able to do any damage. So he's going to be just macroing up. Let us see. Stim being researched, combat shields as well, +1 going down in the engineering bay, and an armory and a second engineering bay being built so as to line up when this +1 finishes. He'll be able to queue up +2 attacks and +1 armor straight away, as well as ship weapons level 1. Meanwhile, we have more gates being added on by JackO. He wants to bring himself up to 7 gates? Wow. You know, I kind of have the feeling that JackO might be going for a 2-base Colossus push here. With 1-1. He'll be wanting to push out with roughly 3 Colossi and 1-1 finished or near completion. And he's going to be using 7 gates as a means to reinforce his push and keep those Colossi alive. All he has to do is prevent any damage whatsoever being done to him before he moves out. So a 3rd Colossus in production. We already have 2 out. And HeroMarine should identify this. I think he saw the number of gates. Yeah, he has. So he should identify this build. I mean, there is no reason at all for a Protoss to have 7 gates unless you're going for a 2-base timing. There are no bunkers here, only 1 Widowmine to defend, and quite a lot of Marines which are going to get fried quickly by the Colossi. Even the drop in the main base gets defended, no problem. Do we have Mothership Core with this push? We kind of need it with that push, because if things go very badly, JackO might want to go ahead and recall. So we have 4 Vikings. Will be 5. I mean 6 by the time this push hits. JackO cannot afford to lose any more time. He has to go now. Oh my goodness, that was a free medevac right there. JackO, I think he's got enough here actually. Are the force fields going to be good? Look at the surround by HeroMarine. Is this going to be enough? The Colossi, as long as they stay alive, this should work. There is not enough Marauders to kill those Colossi nor Stalkers fast enough. The Vikings have been taken care of by the Protoss anti-air. The Widowmine, though, is going to do significant damage to that Gateway army, but as I said, as long as those Colossi stay alive, Time Warp slowing them down. Finally, the Mothership Core making an appearance. JackO going all in on HeroMarine here. And I think he's going to be successful. Just needs more warp-ins and preserve the lives of his Colossi and Stalkers. But now the majority of the army was taken out, and GG seen from HeroMarine as he taps out of the game. Nice execution, and I have to say I enjoyed the beginning the most. The beginning was just beautiful. So much damage done. You know what harassment is? Okay, let me put it in simple terms. At the beginning of the game, you generally, if you're planning to play a macro game, you generally want to set up your infrastructure. Harassment can be defined as an attempt to disrupt that early game infrastructure. And that's exactly what JackO managed to pull off, delaying the Terran tech, killing quite a bit of his early game units, so his army was a little bit smaller and he could not drop as much as he wanted to. Notice that he only had one medevac for dropping. Ordinarily, by that time, he would have had 2, with another 2 being with his main army at the natural. As it was, he could not afford to send out more forces than this without sacrificing his safety. All of this just was so beautifully played by JackO. And, well, HeroMarine, I don't know, probably should not have gone for the third base once he saw those 7 gates. Probably should have added on a second starport maybe. And a couple more barracks. Would have been a better idea, I think. So, this is it for Cast My Game for today, as my hair is being obnoxious. Wait a minute. There we go. You know, sometimes my hair is like this unruly child that you constantly have to berate because it's not behaving so well most of the time. Anyways, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going off. Thanks for watching. Tune in tomorrow for Zoe UK Open Series. Casting that one with Mattzour on definitive_esports on twitch.tv. I'll see you guys there. I may or may not stream tomorrow something. Maybe Sleeping Dogs, maybe StarCraft. We don't know yet. Want to find out? Check my Twitter and my Facebook. Until next time, just remember, storm first and ask questions. Later, guys.